Hey guys, it's Joshua here, or a film fan, whatever you want to call me, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, the new Marvel movie that just came out this weekend, and I was very excited for this one. It's from the director of Just Mercy, which was a legal movie I really loved, and obviously I'm usually very excited for any MCU movie. And martial arts has a very special place in my heart since I took karate for 3.5 years. So, I was very excited for this movie, and it lived up to my expectations. Talking about the good first, it has a very strong story, where it's about a man who was trained to be an assassin from age 7, who abandoned his family in order to leave his entire past behind and is now returning to it. And there are some very strong emotional moments with him and his dad and the confrontations and all that. Another thing is the action is awesome. And while sometimes there's a little bit too much CGI, I loved all the practical stuff with the bus fight and the scaffolding and all that. There are these more grounded, more melee-based fights that are super exciting and well shot. And then it's a super funny movie too. There's a lot of really good comedy. The villain is awesome. He has some of the most depth out of any Marvel villain. And he was a really strong addition. I always want to point out a great MCU villain, as a lot of the time they're not that great. Earlier this year, I reviewed Black Widow. That was a good movie. I didn't really like the villain that much. And I can say that about a lot of Marvel movies. In this movie, they have an awesome villain. So, yeah. And then, finally, there's a lot of really good ties to the rest of the MCU. It's not done poorly like in Spider-Man Homecoming. It actually adds something to the story, and that's about it for the good. Moving on to the negatives, I think there was a little bit too much comedy. And it was funny comedy. There wasn't like, oh, that was so unfunny. That was a bad joke. Okay, you misfired there. No. I can't recall a joke that I thought was bad in the movie. I laughed a lot at all of them. But at the same time, I think there was a little bit too many of them. Like in the dramatic moments, I think they needed to cut down on it, as it needed to be more serious at certain points in time. And because it was trying to be so funny, I think it didn't get the full effect at certain times. But and the second act, it slows down just a little bit. But otherwise, I thought this was a great movie. It's got awesome action, some emotional moments, a great villain, really cool story, some great humor, if a little bit too much of it. If you're a fan of the MCU, you gotta check this one out. You give it an A- and a 9 out of 10. It's one of my favorite movies this year so far. Thank you. Peace.